Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I hope this year brings good health and prosperity to everyone. Now, coming back to the subject of parenting, I personally feel that before one embarks on this journey of parenthood, certain things we need to do as a preparation. And one of the most important thing is your health, both physical and mental health. So let's talk about the physical health first. And what should we do? A good start would be that we take a thorough medical examination of self, do the blood test and other TMT or general health checkups to see health wise where do we stand. Because with the kind of lifestyle many of us follow, and the environment which we are, especially like I stay in Gurgaon, if you're from Delhi, NCR region, the kind of pollution we are seeing, and many of your young people who are going through a lot of stresses and strains, it's better to see how good is your health. So do check, do a physical examination, your blood test, see whether your cholesterol is normal, your blood pressure is normal, do you have diabetes? You don't have diabetes, how is your heart condition? This is one aspect of the physical examination, physical health. The other part which I feel many people neglect is the health history of your parents and ancestors. So you'll ask, why is it important? So let's first start what we should do. Make a family tree for yourself, both your father's side and mother's side. And for young couples, I think for both sides, the girl's side and the boy's side, you make a family tree and drop the medical history, whatever you know, whether your dad has a diabetes, your mom has a BP, is there any heart condition, is there any kidney issues, is there any early balding, all this information you can collect. In this, you'll come to know whether is there a history of thyroid, is there a history of diabetes, is there a history of renal failure, is there a history of bad liver condition. Information is power, I feel. Once you have this, once you map out all this, you'll know, okay, this is what I have, and this is what genetically I'm going to pass on to my child. If he's lucky or she is lucky, they will not have any of these illnesses. But there's always a chance that they have one of this. So, what do we do? And what precautions from day one we can do? That we can consider now, because now we have the information. One, your own health, where it stands vis-a-vis your age, and second is your family health history. With that, you can go to a good doctor and talk to them. Many of you, I think most of us have visited doctor sometime or the other, and they do ask you about the history of your family. Oh, do your parents have any kind of diabetes? The usual questions. So this is important. Make a detailed diary about it. If there are illnesses for which you need to take a precaution, you should do that. And when I asked you to do this medical health family tree, it's not only what is genetically you're giving a child, it is also what diseases you're prone to, right? You also get to prepare and see, okay, to avoid this, what should I know? What dietary changes I need to do? Do I need to do something which will help me grapple with this? Do you have any immunity disorders which I need to take care of? What can I do? How do I have a better, healthy lifestyle? These are things which one should do, because if you're going to have a baby and bring up the child, you need to be physically present in this earth to bring up the child. So, being there as a parent, physically and mentally, is very important. So, do that. I think, I'm not forcing anybody, but this is what I would suggest to my son. One of the reasons actually I started making this video is also to help him navigate this journey, which he will do eventually. And if he has any questions, he could ask me very easily. And then I thought, why not put it on the YouTube so that people of my son's age or people who are grappling with the same issues and these questions can raise it up on this platform, and we could discuss and come to a nice solution. And you can also share your ideas and viewpoints, because as I said, information is power, knowledge is power. The more you have information or knowledge, we can handle this whole journey in a much better fashion. After the physical health, the second aspect is the mental health. My personal experiences, if you're going through any stresses and strains, especially in terms of office environment or in your personal life, that won't be a great time to start this journey. Maybe you could wait and see how things are going. And when I say this, the stress, I don't mean the everyday stress, because nowadays going to office also a stress if you're staying in a metro city, because traveling takes so much of time. But I'm talking about the big pressures, that there's so much strain in your life from the office environment that you don't have time to devote to yourself. So the question comes, then how will you give time to your child? Because you're going to carry that work pressure home, right? So what do? I'll say take a pause. Maybe these are temporary situation, and you can handle this in a little better fashion eventually, or it is a temporary stressful situation which will pass in few months time, and then you can look at having this child. Another aspect of mental health is, I feel, is that do you have, as I said earlier, the history of your family? Is there any mental health issues which your family has faced, any member of your family has faced? And are you prone to that? Is a question which you could ask if you find that there are some family members who are grappled with this issue and they continue taking a medication. You could ask your physician that, okay, there's this history. Is there something which I can do? And trust me, there are a lot of solutions without taking medicines. There are a lot of solutions which you can follow, which will help you navigate this. But in certain cases, you may have to start taking medication to deal with this issue. So you have to go back to the doctor and ask, I'm taking this medication. Is it okay to have a baby? Will that medication have any long-term effect on the child? Another aspect of mental health, very important, is that what has been your relationship with your parents? If you're carrying some unsolved, unresolved issues, I would, and if you can resolve it by addressing it, maybe by confronting it, and it will give a closure. And then I would suggest do it before you have a child. Because once you undergo this journey of having a baby, you will be bombarded with a lot of emotions, and you will not be able to handle that and this baggage you're carrying together. So why not resolve it if you can, and then start? Don't you think it's a good idea? And sometimes it's the most smallest of a issue, but which has been in your mind and it has been pestering you and bothering you. Address it. Not all problems can be resolved. There are a lot of young guys and girls and people who are watching who would know and who would tell me, ki, we had a very bad childhood and there's no solution to it because the other party does not feel that there was a problem. But for us, it was very strenuous period. The childhood became very strenuous. So what do we do then? I would suggest, if you can, because I know not everybody can go and seek help medically. If you can, please seek help. If you can't, and if you have good friends, talk to them. Many a times, if you talk about it loudly, and you air it openly, you may feel better. There won't be a resolution of the problem, but you may feel better. That stress is off my head. Oh, it has been bothering me. That stress is off. Talk to your siblings if you can. The end solution, I feel, is that you address it with somebody whom you can trust, who can listen to you, and then say, okay, now I think I'll start. Because I hear this a lot, I'm not going to be like my parent. This is not how I'm going to bring up my child. And I feel though it's a good place to start. But again, we are carrying this baggage and giving it to our child, right? Unknowingly, the child carries that baggage of our problems. So try and resolve, if you can, these issues. Address your physical health, your mental health. Find out if you are having any illness, any ailments. First, take care of yourself. If you're in a good place, I think that's a good place to start this journey. Mentally and physically, be healthy and then start this journey. That would be my opinion. Thank you, everyone.